Do you guys sometimes find yourself having a bunch of older Android devices and not necessarily knowing what to do with them? Well, I'm sure as you can see, I do. And the thing about devices like this is they're not useless, especially when they don't have a damaged battery or a cracked screen. But they do have their age. And with age tends to come a lack of newer Android updates. But what if I were to tell you that some Android phones, like this Xiaomi Mi 8, which is basically an 8-year-old flagship by now, can run the latest Android versions better than some budget devices out there? What is up, everyone? I'm Mysticle, and today we're going to be taking this Xiaomi Mi 8, which was originally released all the way back in June of 2018 with Android 8 Oreo, and we're going to be installing Android 15 with the latest security patch onto it. This is going to be quite an exciting one, as this is something that I do with all of my devices, so I can't wait to take you through it. Without any further ado, here we've got our Xiaomi Mi 8. I bought it back when it first released, and even back then, the custom ROMing community fell in love with it. The amount of custom ROMs that existed for this phone, I have not seen exist on any other phone to date, except maybe the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And as a matter of fact, as you'll see when I turn it on here, it's actually still a device that we use as a backup. So what exactly are we going to be doing with this one? Well, we're going to be installing crDroid 11.12. crDroid is a custom ROM that I am actually an official maintainer for on the main device, which you guys are watching this on right now, and it is what is going to allow us to bring this phone up all the way up to Android 15. So in case you wanted to do this to your own Xiaomi device, it's not actually as simple as grabbing your phone that is currently running MIUI, connecting it, installing a custom recovery, and flashing a ROM. Because unfortunately, on a Xiaomi phone, you have to go into developer options, bind your Xiaomi account to the phone, and then wait 2 weeks in order to get unlock permission. It's basically a huge pain. Once you do get that unlock permission, you use the Mi Unlock tool in order to unlock the bootloader, and that is basically where we are right now. Because we're going to be formatting the phone, just kind of think of us starting off as if I just unlocked the bootloader. And before we begin, I do feel it's important to mention rooting and custom ROMing your phone nowadays comes with a bunch of issues, mainly in the form of play integrity. Because unfortunately, Google has its checks nowadays that will force a bunch of apps to stop working if you are running a custom or unofficial phone. There is a way to get around that, actually many ways to get around that, but we will not be mentioning those in this video. Some banking apps will just refuse to work without those fixes, and things like Google Pay just refuse to work outright. So I just use CurvePay instead. So you have your phone, you have your bootloader unlocked. What do we do now? You're going to have to find a custom recovery that you are interested in. There's a lot of different custom recoveries out there, and most custom ROM developers will actually recommend you use the one built into the ROM. However, there are some more advanced custom recoveries out there like TWRP or OrangeFox. And personally, I'm a huge fan of these because they allow you to do a lot of things inside the recovery itself. To simplify it for you as much as possible, think of it kind of like a BIOS setup for your phone. It will allow you to format partitions, flash new operating systems, as well as gaps in case you need those, and a more advanced custom recovery will even allow you to create backups of individual partitions on your phone. Nowadays, custom recoveries have even gotten to the point where they will allow you to browse, remove, and modify KernelSU and Magisk modules, which is very handy in case you install a rogue module that ends up breaking something. So now let's grab the next thing you're going to need, which is a computer. And the computer can be basically anything, because all you're going to be doing here is running ADB commands. The first thing you are going to want to search for is Xiaomi Mi 8 or whichever phone you're using, custom ROMs. And even though quite a few of these are on Telegram nowadays, I find XDA is still a pretty good place to search first. And right here you can see crDroid 11.16 actually, and we can download it from the official crDroid page right here. And then we can scroll down and find OrangeFox, and you can see here they're also advertising it for working with Android 15, so that is perfect. And you have to debate as to whether you want gaps or not. Gaps are Google Apps. Without this, on most custom ROMs that aren't pixel-based ROMs, you will not get things like Google Play Services or the Google Play Store. So considering the fact that I bet most people will want those things, we will download Mind the Gaps. And you can see here, we're downloading the one for ARM64 because our phone is ARM64 based. I'm on Arch Linux on my laptop. It's going to be a little bit different for every OS, but in case you are also on Arch Linux, you're going to want to do sudo pacman -s android tools. And this will install the Android tools, Android debugging bridge that we will require in order to actually flash things to the phone. If you're on Windows, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to want to download the platform tools folder directly from Google and then extract it somewhere onto your computer and navigate into it using your command prompt. Then you should be able to run commands like ADB. Perfect. So now we're going to have to move over to our phone. And again, pretending that we have just unlocked the bootloader and this is still running stock MIUI, what you're going to want to do now is power off the phone and throw it into Fastboot mode. This is going to be a little bit different on every device out there. However, on most Xiaomi devices, this is going to require you to hold the power button and the volume down button. Now, I've turned down the EV on my overhead camera a little bit so that you can see this screen better, but this is going to be Fastboot mode. Once you are in Fastboot mode, you're going to want to connect your phone to your computer, just like this, longest USB cable ever. And now you are going to want to run the command fastboot devices. And there we go. Our device is seen, so we're on good track. Now we're going to have to flash a custom recovery onto this phone. So fastboot flash recovery, and then we find that recovery image that we just downloaded. Here it is. Recovery image, this is the one we want, so we'll extract it onto the desktop, and then we can drag it into our console, just like so. Or you can type in where the file actually is. Press enter, and this should flash the custom recovery onto our phone. Sometimes these phones really do not like USB 3, so I'm gonna try doing this through a dock, and chances are it's actually going to work. Fastboot flash recovery, recovery.img, and there we go. And now, once your recovery is flashed, all you want to do is fastboot reboot recovery. And here we go. The phone is now going to reboot into recovery. Oh, and some older phones will just not reboot into recovery. I forgot about that. That's not a command that every phone has. If it starts booting into the system, you want to turn it back on, but this time hold volume up instead of volume down, as that is the command for getting into recovery. And here we go. OrangeFox is now booting up. Inside OrangeFox, we want to go to wipe and we want to identify cache system and data. Now, we will be wiping data in just a second, but this is just what I tend to do. So back, format data, then you want to type yes, press enter, and this will completely format the phone. So it is usually a good idea to reboot the phone into recovery. And now that we're back in OrangeFox, what we want to do is press right here, ADB and sideload, swipe to sideload, and sometimes this will be under something like install update or sideload update if you are using a recovery like Lineage OS recovery or crDroid recovery that are more basic. Once our phone is in sideload mode, we can type ADB, sideload, and then find the zip that we just downloaded, drag it into the console. Now the phone is going to flash the ROM, and you can see here crDroid Android has actually shown up on the display. After this is done, we still need to flash that gaps package that we downloaded. In case you want a fully vanilla Android experience with absolutely no gaps, which could increase your battery life, by the way, you can just press reboot system here. However, because we want those gaps and we want the Google Play Store, we're gonna go back into reboot and reboot into recovery. And then once the phone reboots, we will type ADB, sideload, and find and drag the gaps package into our console, just like so. Then we will go back into ADB and sideload, swipe to sideload, and sideload the gaps package. And also, in case your custom ROM finishes sideloading at 47%, do not be worried, this is completely normal. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And here we go, 47, total exfer, and we have an issue. Oh, I downloaded the wrong GApps package. You can see here I downloaded the package for Android 16 when I should have downloaded the one for Android 15, so let's rectify that issue right away. It has successfully finished. We can press reboot system, unplug the phone, and you will see here now, this is successfully booting crDroid. And you'll know that because you're gonna get a custom boot animation instead of the default one from Xiaomi. But this is absolutely brilliant. I completely and utterly love doing this, giving phones a brand new life after their maker, Xiaomi, Google, Samsung, whatever, decided that these phones are no good anymore. As custom ROMing your phone, yes, it does come with downsides, but it can also come with massive upsides. For example, many apps will just refuse to work on older Android versions. And even though your phone may be capable of running those apps, they just won't work, or you won't even be able to download them. By installing a custom ROM, you completely bypass that. As well as, of course, getting the latest Google security patches, because that is also something you'll be missing out on if you're no longer getting vendor updates. Another massive bonus, if you install an official ROM, like crDroid Official for example, you'll get standard OTA updates, meaning you won't have to go into your recovery basically ever again. Anyway, here we are. The phone has successfully booted up. I'm just going to select English United States because why not? And we're going to set this up. Another nice little thing about this phone is it's got that IR camera up here for face recognition. And supposedly crDroid actually keeps that camera functioning. So you can use Face ID on this phone on a custom ROM. So here we go. Android 15 with the latest swipe navigation gestures working on the Xiaomi Mi 8. And there do seem to be some issues. The fingerprint unlock doesn't work, which may or may not be my fault. The fingerprint scanner might actually just not be plugged in because I did replace the battery on this phone, and there is no MIUI camera. But I never really used MIUI camera anyway. When using this phone, I had Google Camera installed. Another little something I really love about custom ROMs is the fact that you can customize basically anything. See this stupid bar at the bottom here? If we go into the navigation hint, we can actually show IME button space, turn that off, and now that stupid bar is gone. So in addition to that little thing, you have crDroid settings where you can change so much about the phone. You want a logo in the top left of your phone for whatever reason? You do that. What logo would you like? I don't know, you want the ROG logo up in the top left? There you go. It's there now. You want colored icons inside your taskbar instead of black and white ones? You do that. You want to change a bunch of things about your quick settings? You can totally do that here. You want an animation for your quick settings? Oh, that... There you go. You can do that. The lock screen, you can change the font style of your clock to like many different clocks. Oh, the features are honestly just endless, as well as the fact we are running the latest Android 15 with the security patch level from May 1st, 2026, which is not something you would normally see on this phone. That is absolutely brilliant. I bet you we can get this phone up to Android 16. I have the sources on my PC. I might try and build it myself. And as you can see here under System and System Updates, we're going to be receiving OTA just like we normally would. This is absolutely brilliant. I love finally having this phone back up and running and operational. It actually takes really good photos for a phone that is 8 years old. Seriously, especially with Google Camera and the right config. I know I'm saying a lot of things in this video that may not mean a lot to quite a few of you guys. So if you want a more in-depth video about, I don't know, KernelSU modules, Google Camera, and other things like that, do let me know. But this is just something I was supposed to do in my own spare time anyway, so I decided, you know what, let's record a video and do it together. Maybe it'll help out some of you, maybe it'll be of interest, and do let me know if you guys have custom ROMmed a phone before as well. But that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. If you like this one, please do leave a like. If disliked, I guess this button works too. But let me know why down below. If you're not yet part of our community, check out our Discord and our Reddit down below, where I want to see you posting your memes. And thank you so much to all the Patreons supporting this channel. You guys are amazing. Seriously, much love. You are what helps me make these kinds of videos and keep this channel going. So seriously, much love. So if you want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.